Welcome to Shaman Sense, the show that takes the BS out of being spiritual. I'm Adrian Bear, recording live in the beautiful city of Phnom Penh, Cambodia. It's Wednesday now, guys. Oh, fuck. It's not even Wednesday, it's Thursday. Mercury retrograde. But I'll talk about that probably in one of my astrology episodes, which this is not about. Today's episode, it's now episode 10 of Shaman Sense, and this is all about spirits. Woo! Now, guys, I'm not talking about fucking Casper the Friendly Ghost and all that type of shit when I'm talking about spirits. You'll hear a lot of people, new agey types, talk about this type of thing, especially if you're a guy like myself and involved with things like ayahuasca, for example. How would I describe the spirits? Well, in episode 3, I believe it was, I spoke about vibrations and how that's kind of just the rate at which something moves, or how something feels when it moves. And I was also talking about dimensions. So, we all know if something moves fast enough, the chances are that we're actually not even going to be able to see it. If something moves in a certain way and fast enough, it can even pass through other things as well. Science talks a lot about, things like quantum physics and all that type of shit, and alternate realities, where there are these higher dimensions that we don't actually get to see in our everyday life. The way I look at the spirits, well, they're just like white people, black people, Hispanics, Indians, all that type of shit. They're the races of the multiverse that exist on these different levels. Now, there are a number of different types of these fuckers, and just like people as well, some are good, some are evil, some are neutral. Now, when you're doing something like ayahuasca, for example, a number of people end up having these experiences where you speak to a guide. Like, this kind of spirit will come to you, and it could be one of many different kinds, really. It could be something that looks like an animal. They can sometimes look like monsters. They can look like fucking angels or gods. And I'm actually going to make this sort of part 1 on a series of these other beings that live in other places, and the next episode I will talk all about the concept of God, which is actually a viewer question. So I want to give a shout out to Nicholas Hayes for asking that question, and I'm going to answer it in the follow-up next time. But I digress, as Brayton likes to say. So spirits, they're like the races that exist on these other places. And folks like myself who deal with ayahuasca, we get to talk to these things. Now, could I be crazy? Yeah, I could be crazy. But I'm not running around with a fucking diaper on my head flinging shit at people, so I don't think I am. Why would you want to talk to these things? If you remember my episode all about the higher self, if something exists on a different level than you, and this level sort of spreads out over more than what we can actually see, they can have a better look at what's going on in our lives. They can sort of give us directions on which way would be better for us, and they can also intercede with other people to sort of help us out as well. But like I said, there are some out there which are fucking weird and fucking evil. Not all of them have our best interests at heart. Now, when it comes to things like ghosts or demons or all that other type of bullshit, that topic is something I'm going to explain a bit later down the line, not in this episode, so stay tuned, guys. I'm also going to be talking in a later episode about the concept of your spirit guides, these type of people who will look after you. I'll talk about animal spirits themselves and what they mean, and then I'll talk about, as I said, the concept of God in the next episode. Alright guys, that's all for today. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you guys have any viewer questions about spiritual concepts that you'd like to pick apart and take the bullshit out of, please send me an email on barefootshaman@gmail.com. And if any of you guys are coming to Cambodia and feel like trying out ayahuasca, shoot me an email as well. It'll be my pleasure to kind of help you out with that. Alright guys, have a great week. Peace.